Today at my throwing workout, I'm throwing inside. It had just rained a ton, and I didn't feel like getting my feet wet outside. Oh, my last 5 throwing sessions, I've had breakthroughs, big breakthroughs where we're feeling a lot better. I've been training around 51 meters pretty regularly, and I was excited about that 2 months ago, but I haven't really thrown any farther than that. And last week when I was training, I started to get a little bit better feeling of what it means to come out of the back of the circle around your left foot. So I started doing 2 things. One is paying attention to my hip and keeping that under me. So I have a tendency when I'm turning out of the back, so say I'm throwing this way, as I turn my left foot, my hip wants to go in. So as I try to turn my foot, I drop back this way. And all that really does is just sling me into the circle, really without any power. It's slower and it doesn't work. So I realized that, and I started working as I turn my left heel forward, I'm also thinking about moving my hip forward. So the left foot turns, my hip goes forward. And then the second thing I noticed was when I throw, say I'm winding up, I'm going to throw this behind me. I wind up, my first movement is to tug and crunch everything on my left side. So left side goes down, right side goes up, and then essentially I'm just pulling and yanking through the circle. So I started playing around with it, okay, trying to turn my left foot, trying to keep my hip going forward. And I would do that okay, but then I'd yank down here and it wasn't working. And so then last week I added in a third thing, and it was paying attention to keeping that left shoulder higher. So I'm not saying that the left shoulder needs to be high when you come out of the back of the ring, but for me, my tendency is to go down. So when I think left shoulder higher, I'm more level, and I'm more where I'm supposed to be, more balanced. So when I started doing that, my feeling started to improve. And then the last time I threw, I had a breakthrough, because I was like, okay, I'm feeling better out of the back, everything's smoother, but I am not throwing any farther. It's just I feel slow, and I was kind of confused. Then it dawned on me. I remember in 2011 when I was working with Coach V, I was in the exact same situation. I had been training for months, my technique was improving, but I wasn't getting that distance that I thought I should be having or needing. And I remember one day he just said, you just have to kill it, or go faster, turn like crazy out of the back of the circle. And you can't do that if you're all over yourself and breaking your hip and pulling your arm and things aren't technically sound, then this doesn't work. But if you have relatively sound technique, you can crank it coming out of the back of the circle. And that's exactly what worked for me then. I really literally threw 4 meters farther, in competition. I remember he told me that on a Thursday, and I had to meet that Saturday. And that Saturday I set a PR. I went over 200 feet. The first time I went 61.04, Western Kentucky University. Won the meet, huge throw. It was a huge PR, but there was a light bulb moment for me. It was you've got to kill it out of the back of the ring as much as you can. Anyway, so I remembered that last week, and I thought, okay, I need to throw faster. I think I've been working so hard on technique. It's so hard to do it right that I'm missing the biggest part of discus, is that speed and rhythm and explosiveness. And so I started to go, I just went for it. I just turned hard and fast. It was a little bit wild, but I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. So then the rest of those throws, again, this was the second half of my session when typically I don't throw any farther, and I ended up going 1.5 meters farther in that session. And it worked. I threw 4 throws that much farther. It was awesome. And so the point I'm trying to resonate with myself is work on the technique, figure that out, get solid out of the back, get my basics right. But then if you're going to throw far, you've got to go for it. You've got to push it. You've got to go hard. You've got to go fast. Because if you want to throw fast in a meet, you got to throw fast in training. You have to teach your body that. If you want to see more cool videos on throwing, click here to subscribe to my channel. If you want to see my last video, click up here. And if you want to learn more about what it takes to throw far, click here to go to my website. And I'll see you on the next video.